Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Oshin, a Japanese movie from 2013 that is based on a television series of the same name that aired back in 1983 and 1984. It's apparently one of the most popular Japanese television shows ever. I personally have not seen the TV show, primarily because it's not available through legitimate means with English subtitles. But I have seen this motion picture from 2013 that focuses on the early childhood of the main character. So this is set in 1907. A 7-year-old girl's impoverished parents decide to send her off to work as a live-in servant in order to reduce the number of mouths they have to feed. Now the big takeaway from this film, in terms of content, is the hardship of our protagonist and her family. Major sacrifices need to be made just to have enough food to survive the winters. So this family decides to sell their little girl Oshin, that's her name, off to a more financially stable family for 1 year in exchange for a huge bag of rice. Unfortunately for our little 7-year-old girl, her new temporary family uses her for hard labor and treats her quite badly. So this little kid has it rough. But she endures the tough times and learns along the way. She's pretty hard-nosed and has a bit of spunk to her as well, so it's extremely easy to root for her character. This is essentially the focus of the entire story. Now, Oshin is a very emotional film, right from the start. But it does lack the extreme melodrama, for the most part, that could typify a film like this. It's very effective in extracting feelings from the viewer because it focuses on the characters and the drama first and foremost. So it's, I'd say you become emotional more naturally here. It doesn't feel like it's really tugging your heartstrings, I guess in a artificial, manipulative way. So it's not just like a cheap melodrama that lazily reaches for low-hanging fruit. This is actually pretty high-quality stuff with a compelling lead character whose difficult situation provokes sympathy and empathy from the viewer. And that's what makes Oshin so dramatically impactful as a film. This movie makes me tear up pretty early and often. There are scenes where I do start crying profusely, I will admit that. And the moments that hit me hardest are actually the happier moments in the movie because this little girl earns them. She earns them. The acting in this movie's top-notch all around. Aya Ueto has a supporting role as Oshin's mother. I've been following Ueto's career ever since I saw Azumi way back in the day. She's never been critically acclaimed, but she's pretty awesome in this movie. Probably the best performance of her career. She brings her A game and it works. She's actually really good in this. The highlight performance, however, is the debut of a little actress by the name of Kokone Hamada, who is fantastic in this. She carries the film on her little back from start to finish, exhibiting a wide range of emotion. Some people don't like to criticize performances in little kids because they think it's unfair. You feel kind of bad about it. But performances like this prove that there's a pretty huge range of quality for child actors. So I think we should be criticizing these kids or the filmmakers when they give a crap performance. Because you have kids like this who give a great performance. So hey, you gotta say it like it is. This is one of the best performances I've seen from a child actress in recent memory. Apparently, she auditioned against 2,471 other candidates for this role. So the filmmakers chose pretty wisely. She knocked it out of the park. I'm going to look forward to seeing where her career goes and what she decides to be in the future, if she decides to continue an acting career. I think she's probably in school now because she hasn't done anything in a few years. Regardless, the acting's really good in this. The film is set mostly in the icy cold weather months, in the winter time. So there's a lot of atmosphere in the form of snowy forest and mountain areas. It gives you a chilly vibe, adds to the harsh conditions that contribute to the feeling of adversity here from our little girl. Movies like this kind of give me perspective on how, I guess, spoiled and lucky I am. Because I never had it this bad when I was 7 years old. That's for sure. I think most people will have the same reaction when they see this. You'll feel thankful after you're done watching this movie. One random observation I had that I just thought of while watching this is that the little girl in this movie will travel between villages by herself in the film. And I've actually seen this in real life in Japan in modern times. Little elementary school kids will take the subway to school. Sometimes in groups, other times by themselves, believe it or not. I've seen them by themselves as well. That gives you an idea of how safe Japan is in terms of crime nowadays. But, even in my neighborhood, and I live in a safe town, you'd never see a little elementary school kid, like, by themselves, just, like, walking around a subway or something. You know what I mean? In fact, the school buses pick them up in front of their house. And even if you have a kid at one house, and 2 driveways away, there's another little kid, the bus will stop at each house. So if you get stuck in your car behind one of these elementary school buses in the United States, it's horrible, because they stop at every single house. Like, what, the kids can't walk like 2 driveways down and wait together? So it's interesting, the difference in culture. That's all I'm saying. Pretty interesting. But back to Oshin. The only problem I could see somebody having with this film is that maybe they might not think there's enough happy moments in this. It's not like a huge downer of the film or anything, but it is pretty it's pretty tough for this kid. I would have preferred maybe 1 or 2 more happy moments to balance it out a bit more, but then you risk just forcing happy stuff in just for the heck of it, But this seems like a pretty realistic scenario that probably happened back in the day, plenty of times, and that's a good thing that they're depicting it that way. So, I strongly recommend this film. If you're interested in Japanese period dramas, by all means, check this movie out. If you just like quality films, I think most people will enjoy this. I actually recently bought the Region 3 DVD with English subtitles, so that's probably the easiest way to find it. And as always, we'll see you next time.